texted me and told me, sent me the schedule, the practices. So when he sends me a schedule, that means in his voice, Dad, I want you to come see me. I didn't get that text last year. Keep going straight.
Oh.
I didn't get that text last year, but I got it this year. So what does a father do? Come see his baby, because I don't know when I'm seeing him again. It's time for us to go to work. It's time for us to lock in. It's time for us to focus. He's already there. I'm there too. We just say practice. We start team meeting Sunday, go to work Monday. Can't wait. I'm excited. But I had to come. It's the last time I get to see his face, get to hug him, get to touch him. Physical touch is everything. Bam. Last time you put your hand on your kid's shoulder, hugged him, kissed him on the jaw, told him you love him. I got a lot of different coaches here this week. Oh, I got the no, you got some? I missed the upgrade. Your upgrade. My upgrade. A car? I need a car. No, I do. Listen, right now, if you want to give me a car deal, I need a car deal. Well, the car deal just ended, and I don't think I'm renewing. So, anywhere in the country, if you need a car deal, I'm the guy. I need 2 vehicles right now. Hey, bro, post that tag for One he don't like it. Couldn't wait to meet Coach Monken. I had heard so many things. Really, Taggart is my dog. You know that.
Yeah.
Tag was with them last year in Baltimore. He's up with the Giants right now, but he was there. So he gave me the 411 and gave me that Coach Monken is a real one. He's genuine. Okay. He's straight up, good coach, old school principles. And Shedeur said, Dad, this cat is a lot like you. Like he coached with that tenaciousness, and he ain't playing. Like he gonna call it like he see it. And people, made a big deal out of it, man. And I thought that was crazy, because if I go here to the Broncos to see Coach Payton, which is my dog, which is my partner, he's going to come over and holler at me. We're going to hug. We're going to embrace. It's going to be, if I go to the Cowboys complex, how it's going to be. Mm-hmm. The team that I didn't play for, whatever complex I go to, it's going to be because I played the game at an extremely high level. This ain't got nothing to do with my kid. Right. I mean, Coach Monken, opened his heart, his office, and my son and I and Sam, we went on in there and we chopped it up. We barely got to talk about Shedeur. We just talked ball. We just talked life. We just talked some wonderful things, which were pleasant.
We are a pro Shedeur show. Mm-hmm. I think we have been. Even whenever, the stats didn't necessarily look like it. As soon as he got on the field for the Browns, they had a spark. They were winning games. I don't want the Browns to do classic Browns stuff, which is like Baker Mayfield won for us, but we didn't like it. We didn't like how it was. Shedeur was winning for you guys. Now, do you have to go back in the past because of the mistake that you made, given the largest guaranteed contract in the history of sports, and give him an opportunity? I would assume yes, but hey, Mike T, who has been a general manager before and has been in these buildings, says, nope, get him that. Cut your losses. Get him out of there now. How much do you owe him? $90 million? Sick. Yeah. Sweet. Go do it on the street somewhere. I like Shedeur's chances. We saw Shedeur. He looked fit.
Yeah, he looked in good shape.
Shedeur looked like he was in great shape. Obviously, he's saying he's from Cleveland. I think he wants the job. I'm pumped to see if the Cleveland Browns can find somebody.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think
I think, when I first got here, there was a lot of stuff going on, as the world knows. But I don't have no bad feeling towards Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Me and my wife, we got our house on the east side, so we here all the time. We were here this summer. If you ask around, I'm at pretty much all the restaurants. I'm hanging out, so I haven't had a bad experience outside of, just different times in the stadium. But again, I don't know why that narrative is out there that people think that I don't like Cleveland. And my family, we've been enjoying it. We've been enjoying our time here, and yeah, that if the opportunity shows up, we'll see where it goes. But
I'm sorry. Last year when you weren't playing, you were still in the meeting and helping Gabriel and Sanders in their rookie year. What does Shedeur look like now, a year after?
Yeah, he's definitely improved. He's grown a lot. You can see within his fundamentals, his reads, being able to execute, call the plays. So you can tell he's a lot more comfortable, and that he's been putting in the work to be able to be where he is right now.
Thank you, guys.
We look at every practice kind of like as a race between you and Deshaun, and we're judging who's ahead, who's behind. I assume, do you do that? And if you don't do it that way, how do you log that competition out?
We just gotta get the next question. I answered this question 1,000 times. We focus on ourselves and what we do and what we need to do to get better each and every day. So that's just something y'all think about and y'all care about,
All right, so we got Deion Sanders showed up to Cleveland Browns, training camp, and Coach Shedeur Sanders said that he had that conversation with Todd Monk. I believe that's the head coach. I think he said he had a homie, a friend over there, and he set that up, and he talked to Monk about coaching his son. And, I think he wanted to make it right for Shedeur. I think he, made a mistake, and, Shedeur slid in the draft by him being a little bit, boisterous and, being a Hall of Famer, if not the greatest football player, one of them, in my opinion, up there with LT, Jerry Rice, and Barry Sanders. But hey, check out the NFL playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And, a little bit of controversy, him being at camp, helping his son out. I mean, we see it all the time where NFL players, they come back and they, they go to different camps and they help people out. So I don't see no problem with Prime wanting to help his son out. And maybe the last coach, what was his name? The Kevin Stefanski thought Prime was going to steal his job or he was going to undermine him. And, I just think he wanted to be there to help his son. He understand what they're doing to his son. Pretty sure they put a lot of work in the off season. I don't really have an issue with it. I think he tried to right a wrong with his son. But, in general, they wanted to put Deshaun Watson as the starting quarterback. Right now, Watson is washed. When you started to kind of look at what's kind of going on with him, and the players that, check out the NFL playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The players that take that time off, they really never the same. Him, Le'Veon Bell, it might have been a few other guys that took, some time off and they never got that. They never got their prime back. And Deshaun Watson, he never got his prime back. Forcing his way out of Houston. Most people feel like they put him in the trick bag. When he got out of Houston, they sat there and they they did all that because he wanted to leave. And he just never, he got his money. I think that's more important to him. But he was looking like one of those, legendary quarterbacks. But coming off that Achilles injury, and right now in camp, they haven't put the pads on. But right now, Shedeur Sanders is putting hands, foot, and toes on both of him and Dylan Gabriel. And I'm pretty sure, Deion put that major work with him. But it's only time gonna tell. It's a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So only time gonna tell for the most part. How they putting that. When they put the pads on, and then when Watson kind of get into a rhythm and all that type of stuff. But Watson threw a no-look pass that got picked off, and maybe he just got his money and he didn't want to be in Cleveland. He wanted to go to Atlanta. Cleveland offered, gave him a deal he couldn't resist. And always remember that when somebody don't want to do something, when somebody really don't want to do something, always remember it. Because even if you give them what they want, their passion not gonna be in it. But in general, it's Shedeur time. Shedeur can take the bull by the horn and whoop on Deshaun Watson, it's his time. They put him in a situation where they put him to the one place he didn't want to go, where no quarterback want to go, in Cleveland, in the cold, where no quarterback has really won. Baker had some success. I think Kelly Holcomb was the last guy. I think they got a playoff win, or was it Baker? They put him. They put him in a position to lose. They put him in a position to lose. And that's as simple as that. And I think what the NFL is seeing is a surge in popularity, a surge in jersey sales. They seen an opportunity to make money off of him. So, they might have rescinded the hex off of him for now, but his dad want to make sure he right that wrong, get his son prepared. They should have been the first round draft pick. And it's hard to you don't know when you playing, being the backup. Anything you do, you take a picture, you flamboyant, they try to shame you for it. You just got to go ball, and Deshaun Watson lose to him. Hopefully Deshaun Watson give him some wisdom and he can help build that young brother up. But I don't have no problem with Prime being there. If the coach is cool with it, he ain't overstepping his boundaries. He know his son. He know his son. He know what his son is capable of. So, I know a lot of people gonna be, Prime here and Prime doing this and Prime doing that. But no, I just think it's for the betterment of developing his son. So, in general, if it's a race, it's just getting started. Deshaun Watson knocked the rust off as they put the pads on. Then that's when the real thing gonna come. But most black men are always put this position that Shedeur is in. That's just the position that come with being a black man in America. You always in one of the worst positions, and then when you happen to get somebody like Russell Wilson, who has a great position, then they say, well, anybody could have won with that team. Anybody could have won with that team. So you damn if you do, damn if you don't. Cam Newton dragged a whole bunch of, Jericho Cotchery was his best receiver. He dragged him to the Super Bowl, and wasn't enough. Or he just couldn't. Whatever. You win it. Oh, he had help. He had this, that, and the third. When Peyton Manning had Pro Bowl teams every year. Brady had Hall of Fame defenses every year that they won it. So you got to understand the shaming tactics that they use. That's why you got to congratulate yourself. You got to be proud of yourself, because whatever you do, when you're a black man, it's going to be somebody around you that's going to try to diminish, no matter how great the feat that you accomplished. No matter if you got your degree, no matter if you got a promotion or you got your first job, it's always somebody around you when you're a black man that's going to act like it is nothing. They try to diminish what you do. We always put in these situations where it's designed for us to lose. And some of us bump our head, we lose a few times, but a lot of us end up finding how to persevere. You find a way. You find a way in the game that's set up for you to lose. It's crazy. And that's the situation he in right now. Dead ass. That's the situation that brother's in right now. He's in a position where they want to see him lose. And even if his father I don't know why he's doing this. Sorry, y'all. Even if his father didn't say that, they still wanted to see him lose. But hey, it is what it is. Check out the NFL playlist. Hit the link in the description. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. The whole nine. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.
And then Shedeur, that's a young, confident dude. Like I'm probably one of the most confident people you're ever gonna meet. Shedeur right there with me, but not even in the fact of arrogance or the fact of trying to be like more than what he is. He's just somebody that you around and you feel confident that he's gonna go out there and do what he has to do to put us in a position to win.